lane 1, Naples in lane 2, Bartram Trail in 3, Fort Myers in 4, Lakewood Ranch in lane 5, Estero in 6, Creekside in 7, St. Cloud High School in lane 8, and Stanton Preparatory School in lane 9. And Stanton off to a big start there, but the best time in this section this year was by Lakewood Ranch in the regional, actually 9:24.17. They are considered one of the favorites to win this event and also to win the 3A girls title.
Lakewood Ranch, they've already gone 9:21.16 this year. I fully expect that it's going to be a battle between Lakewood Ranch, Estero, and Fort Myers, and noticeably absent from the 4x8 field. Probably surprising to a lot of folks is that there's no team from Childs in the 4x8, but they've got the rest of the distance events stacked. Lily Williams trying to get the triple, very hard to do here at the state meet, and a lot of their runners are going to be safe so that hopefully they can take a run later on at a team championship. So the first leg coming up right around 64 seconds for our leaders.
Looks like Stanton right now leading the way.
Stanton comes in 9:49 out of their regional time, and they've already gone 9:49 as their best time as well. So they PR'd last week. This will be really a good effort to see if they can get down below 9:49.17, the time they set last week. We know that in this race we've got some of the best distance runners, some of the best Harriers that are probably going to be on the anchor for teams like Lakewood Ranch with Olivia Ortiz and Casey Smith from Estero. So this race is going to play out for the first couple of laps as everybody kind of settles in. Everybody will be trying to get their follow-on teammate as big a lead as possible. Make sure everything is safe through the relay exchange zones. And we're coming up 100 meters to go. First leg of Section 2, the girls 4x8.
At 2:17 through that time around.
And Northwestern looking pretty darn good right now.
Boy, they're off to a big lead now.
10:02 on their seed time out of the regional. And Northwestern, they've already gone 9:57 this year, so they're able to run some really fast times.
Boy, sizable lead now.
It was Stanton in second and Estero in third.
Northwestern now to a pretty good size lead, but still not even halfway through this 4x800 meter relay final.
And this is kind of surprising to me. For Lakewood Ranch, presently running in right around 6th place right now, they've got Olivia Ortiz, Foot Locker finalist, state champion for 3A on the anchor, and she's going to make up some room, as you can tell. So Northwestern now going to start feeling Olivia Ortiz coming up behind in this trail pack right around 3:22 as Northwestern went by, and around 3:27, so about 4 seconds difference. Back to Lakewood Ranch in second.
Well, it's funny how you mentioned Olivia Ortiz. The minute that happened, she really kind of kicked it into gear, and there are 5 girls on the track within a few meters of each other. 2nd through 6th is very close right now, and 7th and 8th not far back as well.
And this makes it very tough for Olivia Ortiz. You know, obviously she wants to do very well in the 4x8 for her team. She's got a lot of room to make up, so she's really going to have to put out a really good effort. And the question is, does she have enough time throughout the rest of the day to come back and run some decent distance events later on and help her team? Lakewood Ranch, one of the favorites. You know, it'd be nice to get 10 points out of this event. Miami Northwestern continues to lead, though, with Lakewood Ranch in second. And then it's 5 meters back to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So a good couple of races within the races, races against the clock and races against the teams. We're starting to see some movement now down the last 50 meters coming in.
Starting to see that lead not fade, but get a little closer as, again, Lakewood Ranch is on the trail of Northwestern. I think we said before the day started, Northwestern probably a big favorite in 3A. The last two-time defending 4A state champs down to 3A, but maybe the distance event's not really their strength. But right now, you wouldn't know that.
Well, this is a little bit of a surprise as well, and maybe it's a good thing that Estero has Casey Smith running this leg, the third leg for Estero, followed by Kristen Zarella out of Lakewood Ranch, because they are going to start to put some pressure on Miami Northwestern. That lead now down to probably about 2.5, 3 seconds. Casey is a really good 800-meter runner, a very good miler, and she's coming up. That gap is going to start closing very shortly. And just like we said, the cream kind of rises to the top here in the 4x8 as the race progresses. So Estero and Lakewood Ranch, we thought it was going to be a battle between those two. It may come down to the anchor. But Casey Smith now into the lead for Estero. She'll bring them through in 5:43. Northwestern in second. Lakewood Ranch in third. And Lakewood Ranch now starting to make up some room. Girls in fourth, crossing in 5:51, 5:52. But it's really a three-way team battle, and pretty soon it's going to be just a two-way team battle between Estero and Lakewood Ranch down the backstretch.
Boy, what a leg here for Casey Smith. Came from way back in third to now a decent lead, trying to extend that lead.
And Lakewood Ranch is hanging tough. 200 meters to go. We all know Casey's got a lot of guts. She will stretch it out this last 200, and she's not worried about tonight. She, I think, wants to get a 4x8 team championship for her team, and she will give the handoff here in the lead. Lakewood Ranch in second, followed by Miami Northwestern. Well, here we go. It's going to come down to the anchor leg. Estero is going to have about a 2-second lead over Lakewood Ranch, and we'll get a chance to see a lot of movement for third, fourth, and fifth places. So right around 6:57 for Estero, 6:58, 6:59 for Lakewood Ranch. Miami Northwestern in third comes across in 7:06.
So now we have Megan Slater for Estero. Boy, here comes Lakewood Ranch, you mentioned.
And on the anchor, we'll confirm it, but that ought to be Devin McDermott for Lakewood Ranch, an FHSAA academic all-state member. Devin McDermott, a senior out of Lakewood Ranch. While Marty, I should say, this is setting up to be very, very interesting with 500 meters to go. And Miami Northwestern is not out of it yet. They have looked to have a little bit of resurgence with right around 500 meters to go now for Miami Northwestern, back in third.
It is, in fact, Devin McDermott. And they are now neck and neck between her and Megan Slater for Estero. Northwestern still hanging on to third, but they have dropped back.
Well, we mentioned that Lakewood Ranch has already gone 9:21 this year, and Estero's gone 9:29. And here we are, neck and neck in the state finals for 3A, with Devin McDermott just off the right-hand shoulder, letting the runner from Estero know that she's there. 300 meters to go down the backstretch. Somebody's going to walk away with 10 points, and somebody's going to walk away with 8. One will get a championship trophy, and one will be runner-up. It all comes down to guts right here. Devin McDermott kind of hanging out on the right-hand shoulder, ready to pounce. I don't know if she's going to wait until the last 100 as she comes off the stretch, or if she's going to go now. And she is moving on the stretch. Obviously, if you're Estero, you don't want to give up that inside rail. It looks like the Estero runner has fallen back into second, and Devin would be good to close the door on the inside of the rail and make sure that nobody comes back on her as she starts to move out into lane 2, but looking and feeling pretty good. Lakewood Ranch, the fastest girls in 3A, they are going to win the state championship as they come across in a very good time of 9:14. That's almost as good as American Heritage 9:13.53, the state leader. So a great time for both Lakewood Ranch and Estero.
Thanks again to halfmiletiming.com for giving us our times. Lakewood at 9:14.15. As you mentioned, Estero in second at 9:18.16. And actually, in the end, it looks like Miami Northwestern
Or St. Cloud moving
St.
up.
Cloud moved up to third at 9:31.20. Bartram trailing fourth. And Northwestern, who led most of the way, dropped back a bit at the end. But those times, Stanton finishes fifth at 9:35.19. And all those times are better so far than Cardinal Gibbons, who won the first section ad. So looking for the final totals, as you see there. Fort Myers 6th, Creekside 7th, and in the end, Northwestern ends up fading as Naples finishes 8th. And I think